Hi. A film that I was very interested to watch that I caught up with yesterday was The Devil All the Time, which is the new film by Antonio Campos, whose last film, Christine, was one of my choices for Film of the Year. It's based on a book by Donald Ray Pollock, who also narrates, and it's the story of various characters in the Ohio, West Virginia coal belt from the 40s through to the 60s, and betrayals, murder, religion, various other things. I didn't care for it. um, it's it's clearly based on a book, but it's not been adapted terribly well. It's the adaptations by Campos and his brother, because it's a complete jumble with no structure and no pace to it at all. It jumps around in time almost at random with no sense of connecting tissue. We start with a character played by Bill Skarsgård coming back from the war and falling in love with a waitress, and then almost immediately they get married, and the waitress dies, and they have a son. Probably not in that order. Um, and he builds a cross, and he becomes very fundamentalist, and he winds up killing his son's dog and crucifying it. This isn't in the first 20 minutes, and the son grows up to be Tom Holland, sporting a very fruity accent, who's growing up in his great aunt's house with the daughter of a woman that they had taken in who went off to be married to a preacher who killed her because he was losing his faith and wound up escaping and being kidnapped by two serial killers who also come back later in the story, played by Riley Keough and Jason Clarke. You see, there's a lot of plot threads. There's not much structure, although I'm not telling it quite as poorly as the film is. Um, and there's just lots of things happening all over the place. I really didn't enjoy it. It's over 2 hours long. There's a lot of characters. We've got Haley Bennett, who was so brilliant in Swallow earlier in the year. Here has a tiny role as the Tom Holland character's mother, who's literally only about two scenes until she dies of cancer. Sebastian Stan plays the corrupt local sheriff, who's also the brother of the female serial killer. Um, and I think this needs to be better written. This needs to be shrunk down. The only time it really comes alive is with the narration, because Pollock, reading his own material, gives it a weight and a drama that the rest of the story can't match. And the result is that it's just it's really a succession of boring, cliched Appalachian Gothic. No pace, no structure, no point to it, apparently, to the endless procession of brutality. Um, there's some stuff that's vaguely about how religion's. Oh, Robert Pattinson's in it. Robert Pattinson has a supporting role as a preacher who gets the foundling sister of Tom Holland's character pregnant, and he gets a comeuppance, and he also is sporting a very fruity accent. I think everyone's in this. Everyone is making an effort. It's not badly acted by any means, although I wouldn't say it's particularly well cast. The problem is that it's just a parade of unimaginative, boring grimness to no apparent purpose. It's one of the least films I've seen this year, and despite Campos's previous work, I would not recommend this in any way.